My name is Lauren Baumley. I am one of the juniors who attended the New York and Iceland trip this past May, and I would like to go over kind of my takeaways from the trip as well as a brief overview of the entire trip before I go in and answer all of the questions. So, beginning with before the trip even started, I was actually able to help plan the trip. And this was really important for me as myself because I got to learn things that I never thought I would have to learn when in terms of booking a trip for such a large group. And international travel is my minor, so this is something that I'm actually really interested in, and I'd love the opportunity to be able to travel more. So, getting the introduction of how to book such an in-depth trip to begin with was really beneficial for me. So when we actually got to New York City, it was really cool because I've been to New York City so many times, but I've never done some of the things that we got to do there. So it was really cool to see a different side of the city as well as explore it with some of my closest friends in the program. When we went to Iceland, it was super cool to see the whole new cultural aspect of everything. It was really cool to see that. And I genuinely enjoyed it so much. My favorite part of it was the van day with Snorri. We went on a 14-hour tour of, I believe it was the southern point of Iceland, and we made a ton of stops along the way. I believe there was like somewhere between 15 and 20 stops that we made along the way that day. Some of them included going to waterfalls and walking around them. We actually got the opportunity to meet Michael Strahan, which was really, really cool. He was actually on our flight over there, so that was awesome to be able to actually meet him there at one of the waterfalls that we went to. And then we also got to stop and see some horses on the side of the road, which is awesome. Even that's a change. The horses in Iceland from the horses in the United States are very different, which I had no idea before going over there. They have much thicker mane and shorter mane than the horses in the United States, so that was really cool to see. And then we also got to try some traditional Icelandic food with Snorri, and that was really cool to see because obviously we don't normally eat the type of food that they eat over there, so it was really cool to see that. And then in addition to that, we got to meet a bunch of alumni from Coastal, and that was really cool because I had no idea how many people from Iceland actually have gone to Coastal, so that was awesome to see that there is such a large network in another country. Now, in terms of our project, when we were over there, we worked on I think it was 6 or 7 month long project, and I was on a Star Odie team, and we went over and presented our project with them, and our project had to do with acoustic tagging, and that was awesome in and of itself because I never thought that I'd know half or any of the things that I now know about an industry that pertains nothing to what I will be doing in the future, but it's actually really cool to have that type of knowledge that I never thought I would have about the industry. And it was also really cool to just go to another country and present a project to a group of stakeholders in an industry, or in a company, sorry. That was really cool to do as well. Now, in terms of the questions and the changes that I would make to one of the companies, so I chose to talk about Greenhouse Hotel, and I chose to do that because I think Greenhouse Hotel has such a cool concept, and I think it would be really cool to have in the United States because we don't currently have something quite like it, where there's a food court downstairs and then just on hotel rooms above. But the only thing that I believe that, or the biggest change that I would make to the Greenhouse Hotel is a safety factor. The way in which safety is not as much of a concern over in Iceland as it is in the United States. I believe that, so currently at the Greenhouse Hotel in Iceland, you're able to walk in, and it's the first level is all just food courts and stuff like that, and then you're able to have like just access into the stairwell to go upstairs to the rooms. I believe that if the company were to come over to the United States, you would have to put on some like padlocks to make that more safe, where only guests can have access to that. meaning that you would have to have an actual key card in order to get up those stairs rather than just anybody technically being able to walk in, how it is like right now. I think that another difference between leadership styles in Iceland versus in the United States is that in Iceland they kind of have more of a kind of I'll get to it when I get to it type of mentality. And I think if they were to do business in the United States, they would have to change that because the United States is very fast paced and more in your face and get things done as soon as possible and as quick as possible. So I think that they would have to adjust to that and adhere to the culture here and try to create more of a quicker pace and respond quicker and do things more in a timely manner than what they would currently be doing.